Hey guys, X-File 2708 back again with another video. 3 days running. You're honoured. Got Killer Frost with me this evening as usual. Something a bit different as you can tell from what's in front of you. A couple of my good friends and subscribers, Dainster and Gashead Steve, have over the last year or so that I was talking to Dainster and years that I've known Gashead have said that they'd like to see my horror collection. So I've got hundreds of Blu-rays and steelbooks, etc. as part of my horror collection. It's probably 95% of what I watch, much to Killer's disgust, but she sits and enjoys some of them with me anyway. But yeah, I thought I'd do an overview. So tonight, guys, for this video, we're going to have a look at the 4K collection. It's probably the smallest out of the collections that I've got. But over the coming weeks, I'll show you through my Shameless Blu-ray collection, Slasher Classics collection, my 88 films collection, 101 films collection, all of my steelbooks that are non-4K, and my regular Blu-ray horror collection that you can see some of the titles on the shelf that I'm using as the background here. So without further ado, guys, I'm not going to go into details with what the films are about and all of that sort of thing. There's a table full to my left-hand side of 4K, so we'll rattle through them, and maybe on another video I'll speak about individual ones in a bit more detail if this sort of video proves popular. So, first title, guys, as you can see, regular 4K, and it's the Alien 40th Anniversary Edition. So, slight pause while my able assistant Killer passes me the next Blu-ray.
I better keep these in alphabetical order.
Yeah, you'll see they're all in alphabetical order, and if they don't go back on the shelves in alphabetical order afterwards, we'll need to be off to counselling tomorrow. So there you go, guys. Next one, big favourite of mine, Christian Bale in American Psycho. One of the best trilogies around by Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. We have Evil Dead 2.
Please excuse the rattling of my bracelet.
And also with the Evil Dead, I'm a big fan of the Ash vs Evil Dead TV series, which I do need to get on Blu-ray again at some point. Next we have It Chapter 1. Again, did we see that one at the cinema?
No, I don't like clowns.
Did we see it at the cinema?
No, was it? No, it was you and Mr. Ward, I think.
Yeah, potentially. Anyway, I saw It Chapter 1 at the cinema, quite enjoyed it, quite enjoyed Chapter 2, but obviously, same as most people, bigger fan of the original. Next up, big fan of my shark movies, and Killer's just put her hands over her head because I've got a extensive B-movie shark collection, which again, that will be a separate video that you can cringe or giggle over at a later date. Shallows I thought wasn't too bad. Title on the front, best shark movie since Jaws. Not in my opinion, but there we go. It did have the potential, but didn't quite deliver. Right, next one, big favourite of mine, Split. Big fan of this one. On my list to rewatch again at some point very soon. Fantastic movie. And then the last of my regular 4K Blu-rays, and that is Jordan Peele's Us. One of those that when I watched it, I thought, what the fuck was that about? And I had to... I think I either looked on a website or looked on a YouTube video for some sort of explanation as to what I actually watched and what it meant. So yeah, it is on my list to rewatch again, and hopefully it'll make a bit more sense. But I did enjoy it, even though I didn't fully understand it.
Onto the steelbooks.
Yep, steelbooks. Big steelbook collector, probably 200 or so steelbooks in my collection. So I've got a small amount on 4K because they're not the cheapest of things to collect. I've also got a chunk of other regular Blu-ray steelbooks as well as Arrow video steelbooks. So those will all be separate videos at some point down the line if this proves popular. There we go, guys. So we've got Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Big fan of Hitchcock's movies. I had quite a few of the compilation ones over the years. Big fan of this one, big fan of Psycho. And funnily enough, even though Killer isn't a big fan of the older movies, she's a big fan of Rear Window.
Yes, I do like that film.
So I've got that on 4K Steelbook and regular Steelbook. It's that good a movie. So there we go. So that's The Birds. Next up, again, big fan of this series of films. We have the latest, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Again, quite enjoyed that one. Only watched it the once, so again, it's on my list to re-watch at some point shortly. Wakey, wakey.
Sorry.
Next one, follow-up to one of my all-time favourite horror movies or thrillers. And that's Stephen King's Doctor Sleep. Obviously the sequel to The Shining. Jack Nicholson, one of my favourite horrors. Probably one of my favourite movies of all time, not just horror. So Doctor Sleep, again, one that I've seen once. Quite enjoyed it, but I need to give it a rewatch again shortly. Okay, then we have this one without the title on, but it's Don't Look Now, which I think is from 1972, I think it is, 72 or 73. But really good film. Seen it a couple of times and definitely up there with one that I enjoy.
The flappy thing fell off.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Right.
Well, it's not stuck on, it just fell off.
There we go. Next up, I got the full set of these when they got released. I can't remember the artist's name, but I think they did 4 in the set, and it is John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Big fan of this one, Kurt Russell. Again, one of my favourites. I do enjoy Kurt Russell's movies, and I think I've got a few copies around the collection of The Thing, which is probably... It's my second favourite John Carpenter film, but I'll share with you shortly my all-time favourite John Carpenter film when it comes up.
Right,
So that's that one. Yeah, put the flappy bit back on, please.
Well, we need to find something to stick it on because it's just going to fall off again.
Just don't use.
Look!
Just don't use CX's stickers.
There you go.
Again,
Another flappy one.
another one in the series. And again, we have John Carpenter's The Fog. Again, big fan of this one. Also quite like The Mist, which is another similar one. I think that was Stephen King. But yeah, thoroughly enjoy this one.
Right, I'm not ready.
Okay. Next one, absolutely love this movie. Another one directed by Jordan Peele. And it is Get Out. Seen this one several times. I think you watched it with me recently, didn't you?
Which one?
Get Out. The one where the black guy goes to the house and they it's like a cult type thing.
Oh, yeah. And the
mum's puts him into a trance and he falls through the sofa and all sorts of messed up stuff.
Yeah, that was weird.
Another one of those that not everybody gets or understands, and you know, there's walkthroughs online to try and explain what certain things were about. But again, I absolutely love this movie, so
Can I take
it's
this out of its slip case?
one that gets watched regularly.
Because I prefer the back of it to the front.
Oh, okay. Right, which ones? Yeah, back on John Carpenter again. We have the original Halloween movie, again, 4K Steelbook from 1978. So, absolutely love this one. Love the series of Halloween movies. Always like to rewatch them where I can. Something that Killer's watched with me
I do like that.
a few times. And my guilty pleasure is Halloween 3. That does not have Michael Myers in, that divides fans, but I absolutely love it as a movie in its own right. So
the back of that steelbook's quite nice.
I'll turn around and show you the back because Killer likes it, so
I do.
there we go. A lot of these have got really nice back art as well, and also artwork inside the steelbook. But I just wanted to give you an initial overview. So there we go. That's that one.
Right, let me put this back in its slipcase before I get you the next film out. Ooh,
Next one. Picked this one up recently. So a lot of these are like Zavvi exclusives, etc. So there might not be ones that everybody's seen before. But yeah, we have Halloween Kills. We saw this one at the cinema, didn't we?
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it. I rewatched it again recently with this 4K with my son because he hadn't seen it before. And I actually preferred it than when we watched it at the cinema. So I wasn't a fan.
Wasn't that when we were really, really hungover?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But yeah, it was one of those that I wasn't a big fan of, like the let's hunt him down, you know, the bar scenario where they all turned against him and then they cornered the wrong guy in the hospital and all that. But watching it second time round, I much preferred it. So yeah, it's one of those that's grown on me after a couple of watches. So that's that one. This was one that Killer got me as part of my Christmas present that I rewatched again recently. Really good movie, The Howling. That's that one.
I haven't seen that one. Wasn't a fan. Oh yeah, I did.
What,
watch
this
it.
one?
Yeah.
All right.
I did watch it. I wasn't a fan.
There we go. The Invisible Man came out a few years ago. Love this one. Really good movie. Very atmospheric and a couple of the old jump scares and things like that, which I'm not always a big fan of jump scares. I think it cheapens a movie, but you know, one of those. I really enjoyed this one.
It gives you a giggle when I do jump, though.
It does.
Yeah.
Especially when I know it's coming up. Right, next one. The follow-on from the one I showed you earlier. So it's chapter 2.
I do like the artwork on that.
So very nice artwork. I don't know what the back's like. Yeah, the back's kind of similar to the front. So there we go. That's that one. Next, one of my all-time favourite horrors, I guess, if you want to call it a horror. Again, can be debated. The original Jaws movie, I think, from 1975. But I've seen that movie dozens of times over the years. Had it on various special editions and steel books and all that sort of thing. So when I saw HMV doing this 4K Japanese artwork steel book with the poster, etc., it was one I had to add into the collection.
How many versions of Jaws have we got?
Oh, probably half a dozen.
Yes.
Next, this one's still in the cellophane wrap, but it is one that I saw. I can't remember what I saw it on originally. It might have been on Amazon Prime or something, and picked it up. One of my all-time favourite modern-day foreign movies, this one. And it's Parasite. So, massive fan of that one. This one, I think, has got the, it says at the bottom, the black and white edition included, so it's on my list to rewatch again. But like I say, it's one of my all-time favourite modern foreign stroke subtitled films. So absolutely superb movie. If it's one you've not seen before, I'd highly recommend it. Alright, which one's this? Let me just double check. Oh yeah, this is the original one. So next up we have Pet Sematary. So this is the original Stephen King release, not the one that I think came out 2019, I think, a couple of years ago. Really enjoyed the one that came out a couple of years ago. Again, that's one that divides fans. You know, some people liked it, some people didn't like it at all. But I quite enjoyed it. I think I've got it on regular Blu-ray somewhere around here, but this Mondo steelbook for the original movie I had to get. Love the Mondo ones, but again they can be quite pricey when they come out, and they do sell out quite quickly, so you have to be on your toes to get it.
You do get quite a lot of steelbooks for your birthday and Christmas, don't you?
Yeah.
That's primarily what I buy, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, I'll send you all of my Zavvi wish list and some off my Amazon wish list.
You just pick what you want.
Take your pick what you want to get me, and 9 times out of 10 you just get everything that's on there.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
this is another one of those ones by the artist that I can't remember what his name is, but John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. Again, another very good movie.
Sorry, I was being nosy.
Okay, mentioned this one earlier. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. So I am trying to get as many of the Alfred Hitchcocks on 4K as I can when they release them. There's a lot of Blu-ray compilations around at the minute, and obviously the old school DVD compilations with 15, 20 of his movies on and things like that. But I do want to get the 4K steelbooks for my favourite versions. So. But yeah, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, one of my all-time favourite Hitchcock movies.
I like the back of that one, but I can't get the thing off.
Right, hang on, let's have a look.
Bear
with us 1 second while we have technical difficulties. This is another one that we saw at the cinema, and I thought, yeah, as soon as it comes out on 4K Steelbook, I'll be grabbing it. So yeah, it's on the list to rewatch again. We actually saw the sequel to this recently, which is up next, funnily enough, in alphabetical order. There we go. We have the A Quiet Place from a few years ago. Myself and Killer saw this one at the cinema.
We did.
When it came out. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We didn't get the opportunity to see the second one at the cinema, but I did buy it on 4K Steelbook when I got the chance, but I will talk about that in this next one. There's Quiet Place 2 is next up. Oh, and I'll show you the back as well, because Killer likes the back of this one.
I do like the back of that.
There we go. If they hear you, they hunt you. And if you're not fucking quick, they kill you. There we go. That's that one.
Do you want me to try and put this sticky bit back on?
Yeah, just protects it on the shelf for now till I've got it in a protector.
Well, it's half stuck down, so...
Right, as mentioned, we have A Quiet Place 2. So myself and Killer watched this, was it a few weeks ago?
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good follow-up. My only gripe, which is very rare with me with a movie, is that this one seemed to end quite abruptly. And I actually felt as though it was missing like another half an hour, which they could have put into the movie. So I did a double take and asked Killer to check how long it had actually been playing for, and had to check the disc to see if it had gone off too early. So yeah, they could have done more with it. I was disappointed that it didn't carry on and give us a bit more towards the story, but I guess again they've left it open for Quiet Place 3, so it'll continue from there. But yeah, that was one that we enjoyed recently. So this is another Hitchcock one that we spoke about earlier. So we have Rear Window, which I can't even remember what year it is now, 1960 something I think it was. So Killer's not normally one for sitting down watching the older horror stroke thrillers with me, but this is one that I think she was half doing something at the time, and I was sat watching it, and she started watching it and thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's probably one of her favourites that she's watched with me recently. So Rear Window 4K. Oh, I'll show you the back of that one. Back's quite cool. There we go. So Alfred Hitchcock's silhouette with the chap looking through his zoom lens camera. There we go.
Oh, I love this franchise.
Here we go. One of our favourite modern day franchises. We have Saw there 4K. So I've had Saw on multiple copies over the years, and again, as soon as I saw Amazon doing a pre-order for the 4K Steelbook, I was all over it. So I do enjoy the rest of the Saw movies. Kind of got reservations for Saw 10 that I think's due out either later this year or next year, but we shall see what they do with it. But yeah, the original Saw movie, absolutely fantastic, and same with a lot of franchises. The original one is the best out of them all. So that's that one.
Haven't we got multiple copies of this?
Yeah, one of my all-time favourite horrors. I did mention briefly this one earlier when I showed you Doctor Sleep. We have the original Shining with Jack Nicholson. Absolutely massive fan of this one. The 4K is probably one of the nicest, crispest looking 4K conversions that I've got in my collection. I absolutely love it. Breathtaking what they've been able to do with it, and just a fantastic overall movie. So that's The Shining 4K.
Oh, this one's another Christmas present.
Yep, which wasn't too bad again. There we go. So we have Spiral from the Book of Saw. We quite enjoyed it, didn't we?
Yes.
It was
and
old.
no, it was
what was
bit...
his name? Chris Rock, I think it was. And it was one of those where he came into it early on. I'm used to him being an American comedian. And I thought as soon as I saw him, oh dear me, this really isn't going to fit the franchise. But once I'd switched off from it being Chris Rock and the movie got further into it, I really did enjoy it. So one of those,
It was gory.
It's a decent one in the franchise. Again, the same as all the Saw movies. It was brutal in places and very graphic. But, you know, I'm into that sort of thing. That thing floats my boat 24/7. So it did what it said on the tin and it didn't disappoint.
Wait there, which one goes first?
No, it doesn't matter. That's fine. Right, next up, my all-time favourite John Carpenter movie. Most people will be thinking, oh, he's got The Thing on 4K Steelbook, which I don't think I have, actually. I think I've got it as an Arrow limited edition, but this one is my all-time favourite John Carpenter movie, and it is They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper.
You've even got the tattoo of the alien.
Yeah, I've got the alien from They Live tattooed on my right shoulder. But yeah, he came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and he's all out of bubblegum. What an absolutely fantastic film. And I love, even back then when it came out, the message that it gives from subliminal advertising and I'm all into that sort of thing. So this movie does it for me on so many levels. But absolutely fantastic. I'm sure you all know about the movie, but if you haven't, take it as a recommendation from me and hunt it out, and you won't be disappointed. So into the last, how many we got? 1, 2, 3 left to show you guys. So
Where's the 3?
the box set on the left hand side
This
there,
one?
and the one that's on top.
Oh, right, okay.
So let me move this down because these are
isn't it?
chunkier.
Oh, and that one.
Yeah. Right, so next up, hopefully this is making it into shot because it's a bigger box. So we have the original Halloween movie.
And that was just a random through the door.
Yeah, this one is
Didn't have a clue.
what was it? I can't even remember what the release was.
Pin and Axe.
Was the...
Oh, it was a gorgeous steelbook.
I can't remember. It's a collector's series that...
Is that what you did?
I don't know, like cult classics or something they refer to it. So it's a 4K steelbook, which...
Exclusive.
Let me put this back on there again. All the best laid plans. There you go. So that's the steelbook. Absolutely fantastic artwork. I think it's the Cult Classic series, but if you have a look on the likes of Amazon or whatever for Halloween 4K, you'll see it. So you get that steelbook, and then you also get a couple of silhouette pins as well as part of the collector's edition. So
Which was a nice surprise
that
for
one.
the door.
Yeah. Right,
I
so
don't
just
put it back in a box.
put it to the side and we'll sort it afterwards, it's fine. So, next up we have the Purge collection. So that's the Purge Anarchy and Purge Election Year. Big fan of this this series of movies. I have got... where is it? I think it's on this shelf somewhere. No, I can't see it, but I have got the other Purge movie as well. Was it Forever Purge? I think it was. there was, I think it was Forever Purge that I picked up recently and watched with my son. Big fan of the first Purge movie, like the whole home invasion side of things. That was my favourite until I've rewatched a few times Purge Anarchy, where they're out and about on the streets, and Purge Anarchy has become my favourite out of this trilogy box set. So again, big fan of this series. I keep going to say trilogy, but they've obviously added more to it since.
I know that it's going to
That's fine. All right, and then this is the last one, guys. Again, apologies for... There we go. George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. I think this is like the, I don't know, an 8-disc box set that's got all different cuts and releases of the movie, as long as various limited edition stuff. So it's a massive box set. It wasn't cheap at all to get. It's very much a collectible item, but Dawn of the Dead is one of my all-time favourite horrors, and probably my favourite out of the Dead series of films that was released. I know a lot of people like the old Day of the Dead in the shopping mall. That's a big favourite of mine, but for me, Dawn of the Dead, I think from 1978, is where it all started, where all the... in fact, no, it's Night of the Living Dead, wasn't it, before that? So, where it was in black and white. But Dawn of the Dead was my favourite out of the set. That's the second sight release on 4K. So I'll leave that up on the screen there, guys. So apologies, it's such a long video, 26 minutes, but if you're into your horror like Dankster and Gashead are, then hopefully it's a good overview of what I've got currently on 4K. So if you liked the video, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you did enjoy it, then I'll look to do some further videos showing the rest of my collection. So like I explained earlier, Slasher Classics, Shameless, regular Blu-ray Steelbooks, everything else that's in the collection that I've got, I'll happily do videos. And if you'd like to see dedicated videos on specific titles or genres or whatever, then let me know, and between myself and Killer we'll see what we can come up with. So there we go, guys. Thanks very much if you made it through 27.5 minutes. As always, please like, comment and subscribe, and share amongst your socials for anyone else that you think might enjoy watching this. So as always, guys, thanks very much for watching, and myself and Killer will be back with another video, all being well, tomorrow. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.
Bye.